Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because we are going to be doing a full face of Natasha Denona and it is almost all first impressions. I've got a box here full of Natasha Denona goodies and I just cannot wait to put them on my face. I did let y'all know already, but in case you missed it, I have an affiliate code with Natasha Denona now for her website. It's just AMYLOVES. It saves you 15% off and I also make a commission. So if you do use my code at all, thank you in advance for your support. Basically, long story short, when I was getting that set up, they sent me a credit for the website. So I was able to pick out products that I wanted to try from Natasha Denona, and it is PR, but it was still my choice. I chose everything. So I've got my box here. Let me show you guys what I picked out. I really wanted to pick up the new Hy-glam color corrector because I already purchased the concealer myself, but it was out of stock in my shade. So I wasn't able to grab that. But when it comes back in stock, I will for sure get it because I don't know, I'm all about the color corrector life right now. So I did pick out the Face Glow Primer Hydrating Underbase from Natasha Denona. I've wanted to try this forever. It's been in my cart multiple times and I've never ended up going through with it because I'm not really a person that uses primer that much anymore, but I just feel like this would be a really good hydrating base to my makeup and just worth a shot 100%. I also picked out a foundation from Natasha Denona. Both of them were on sale for like $22 and I ended up getting the Foundation X Full Coverage Foundation. I don't know, I was just feeling the full coverage. I don't have that much full coverage, and if I'm not wrong, I think AMYLOVES has mentioned this before and said it was really good. So I grabbed the shade 3N Fair. It was the lightest shade available and I think it looks like an okay shade match for me. I also have a lipstick here and I need a nude lipstick. I have not tried this formula. I know I'm like the last person on earth who hasn't tried it, but this is the shade Amorosa and it just looked so beautiful. Like, look at this packaging. I didn't even know it was gonna be like this, and it's actually inspired a whole video I wanna do that I might film later today when I get back from celebrating Father's Day with my family. I don't want to give it away, but I think it's going to be a cute video. So here's what it looks like. It's just a really pretty nude. I also picked out the Puff Paint Liquid Blush Serum in the shade Darya because I thought it looked really cute. I love liquid blush. So there's what it looks like. It's kind of like a pinky peachy shade. And then for the eyes, I picked out an eyeliner. This is the Macrotech Eye Crayon in the shade Brown. This brown and the burgundy looked so pretty when I was looking at the swatches, and I just really, really love the way brown liner looks. I don't wear liner as much anymore, but when I do and when I want something to like complement my eye color, I feel like I always go for browns, and it looked super creamy, so I have high hopes. And then last but not least, I picked out the Mini Nude eyeshadow palette because I've heard so many people talk about this. I've thought about purchasing it for a long time, and when I was picking stuff out, I was like, I want to do a full face, like I want something for the eyes, but I couldn't decide what. Part of me was like, maybe I should just do more looks with the Yucca because it's beautiful and I'm obsessed. I am working on a multiple looks video with that right now, but I just went ahead and grabbed this because honestly, these little palettes are so travel friendly. I know that's not important all the time, but it really stuck out to me because I just took a trip where I only took a carry-on for the very first time, and I was like searching for the smallest makeup in my collection, like trying to make everything fit. Like in the end, my bag wouldn't close and I had to take things out, but I have like a new appreciation for small palettes. And this one also comes with a little blendy brush. So that is the haul. Let's go ahead and start trying it on my face. Not me actually remembering to zoom in for once in my life. So we're gonna start off with the Face Glow Primer. Just gonna grab a little bit out. Oh, okay, it's thicker than I expected. Feels like a super thick moisturizer. And I did already add some SPF underneath this a few minutes ago, maybe like 20 minutes ago to let it sit in. Oh, okay. So when I was pulling it out of the jar, it felt really thick, but it's kind of thinning out as I rub it into my skin. Feels good, it feels hydrating. It definitely has like a slightly, I want to say like florally makeup scent to it. So that's something to keep in mind if you have sensitive skin. It doesn't feel like a moisturizer. It feels like it has like a little bit of grip to it. Not like grippy, but like a little grippy. Okay, so for the foundation, let's see. So cute. I did go ahead and wet a sponge. Ooh, okay. And then I also have my favorite foundation brush here. That way we can try both out. So I'll start with a sponge. Just gonna grab a little bit of that. blend it in on this side. Okay, I mean, it definitely has good coverage. It's covering up my redness right away. I do have a little bit of acne going on right there, which I haven't spot concealed or anything, but it covered up all the redness from that mostly. Ooh, drop my sponge. Okay. With the sponge, it has like a slight dewiness to it, but I'm assuming with the brush, it's gonna be more of a matte finish. No, it still has like just the tiniest, tiny bit of luminosity to it. Okay, I kind of ran out of product, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. This actually feels like the perfect color for me for summer. I feel like when it comes to winter, I'll probably have to mix it in with something a little bit lighter. Honestly, I don't really see a difference in the sides. I think with the brush, there's a little bit more coverage. I'm definitely more of a dewy foundation kind of girl, but I felt like I wanted to try this out and add it to my collection because I don't have anything that is super full coverage and that's like more of a natural finish. So I like what it's doing. I wouldn't say I'm obsessed, but I can definitely see its purpose, can see its functionality. So let's go ahead and add some concealer. This is the Hy-glam concealer in the shade Y1, which like I said, I did purchase myself. Just gonna go ahead and add some underneath the eyes. Probably add a little on this guy right here. I recently saw a TikTok about blending your eyeshadow in with a concealer, or sorry, I completely switched that up. Blending your concealer in with an eyeshadow brush and just how beautiful and like seamless it looks. So that's what I've been trying to do recently because I thought it looked really good the first time I tried it out. I feel like it takes a little bit more time than just using a concealer brush because it is a little bit smaller, but I can definitely see how it is like a little bit more airbrushed and it has really good coverage. Like, look at that, that's literally beautiful. And it is a little bit easier to get up in here and in this area as well. I might actually take some of that concealer onto my eyelids just because I don't have an eyeshadow primer from Natasha Denona, and I feel like this concealer, because it is a little bit more matte, will work really well as an eyeshadow primer. It's not gonna be oily or anything like that. All right, real quick, I'm just gonna do a little bit of powder through my eyebrows before we keep going. Okay, so let's go ahead and try out this blush in the shade Darya. It's gonna add a little bit, ooh, it's brighter than I was expecting. Oh, well, it looks lighter right here. Maybe it's just because there's a bunch of product in one spot. Okay, we'll kind of just put that there and then just gonna blend that out with my sponge. Okay, so with the sponge, I don't know if you guys can see that. It basically just disappeared, so that's not gonna be the move. Let me try with my brush. Okay, you can see it a little bit better with the brush, but it still kind of disappeared. I'm gonna go in with another layer and let's try using our fingers. All right, so just tapping that in with the finger. Okay, that's definitely the best way to get pigmentation. I feel like it has like a slight like little glow to it. I know it's gonna sound silly because it is a liquid blush, but it doesn't feel super wet. Like as I'm blending it in, it feels like it's setting down. I feel like we should do a little swatch of this palette before we go in with the eyes. So the first shade is like a nice bronzy, warm tone. We've got a warm matte, and then let's see, we've got a pretty pale gold, which I feel like will be like my go-to for my inner corner. Oh yeah, it's like a copper. That's cute. Next we have like a taupey kind of bronzy shade. It's like a taupey gold. And then lastly we have a warm, slightly deeper brown, not like super dark. Okay, so there's what we're working with. I feel like I've heard Samantha March rave about this little mini palette so many times. I'm very excited. It's not like it's a super exciting color story, but I could see how it would be one that you go back to over and over again, because that's how I am with the Mini Lila palette. Like, I'm not obsessed with the color story, but I've literally almost hit pan in it because the two nude shades I just go to over and over again when I'm like on the go. So I think I'm gonna start off with the lighter matte first, and we can try out the brush that comes with this palette. It's actually the same exact price. It's just like a limited edition little set, so that's kind of cool. If it's good quality, I'm just gonna start that off on the outer V and blend inwards. Blending super nice to kind of build that up a little bit. It's been a hot minute since I did a warm eye look like this, but I'm excited about it. Okay, next I'm gonna take the deeper brown with a slightly smaller blending brush and just pop that in my outer V. Okay, that looks cute. Just going back in with my other brush, just blending over that edge. Let's go in with the lightest shade now. I'm just gonna grab that on a pencil brush and pop it on my inner corner. Ooh, that has a really pretty shine to it. I feel like so far that's the shade that would make me throw this palette in my travel makeup, or like if I'm just running out of the house and doing my makeup in the car, this is the kind of shade that I normally go for, because even if I don't want to put any eyeshadow on, I will throw something like this all over the inner corner and then across the lid and call it a day. Let's go in with a little bit of the copper too on that same pencil brush, because I'm lazy and I don't want to look for another one. And I'm just gonna pop that along the lower lash line. It's funny, I feel like growing up I was always told that like coppers were my tones, but I just never reach for them. Like I just don't feel that cute in a copper eyeshadow. Like I would rather feeling like Bugs Bunny. I would rather wear a silver any day. Silver is just that girl right now. Okay, but that's cute. It works, it goes with the eye look, it does what it needs to do. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the deepest brown on that pencil brush too, just to connect the outer V and the lower lash line. And then lastly, let's go into this taupey golden shade. I'm gonna pick up a little bit on my finger and tap that all over the lid. Honestly, I feel like those shades work so well together. A perfect like beginner palette. I like actually already have someone in mind I would want to gift this to and like give them a little tutorial of like something like this to do every day, and it's just extremely basic, easy to the point. I love that. Okay, so now let's go into the eye pencil. I'm so excited because it looks good. Like I know I can't really tell just from looking at it, but I'm like, it looks creamy. Let's see. Oh yeah. Creamy, pigmented, like such a nice shade of brown. Okay, I'm gonna start off with throwing that through my waterline. Definitely pigmented, definitely very creamy. I don't have any mascara from Natasha Denona. This is one of the only other things I really need to pull out from another brand. So I'm just grabbing a mini Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara that I have. I'm just gonna coat my lashes real quick. Let's go into the Natasha Denona Super Glow Highlighter in the shade Fair. She is broken, but she's still beautiful. It just keeps getting worse. Okay. This is one of my all-time favorite highlighters. Let's go ahead and try out the Amorosa lipstick, which looks so cute. Let's do a little swatchy. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I feel like it's a little cool toned for this look. We're still gonna try it together, but I feel like with like all the silvers and like cool tones I love to do, this is gonna be so cute. Oh, it's creamy and pigmented. Okay, it is very opaque. I would describe it as kind of like a satin matte finish. I honestly feel like that's like a perfect My Lips But Better kind of color for me. A little bit cool tone for this look, but I still really like it. I could see this being something I'm reaching for constantly. I don't know what's happening with my hair right now, but here is the finished look, full face of Natasha Denona, and I honestly love how it turned out. So let's just walk through everything I tried today really quickly. The primer Obviously, I really need to try more and try with other foundations. It's kind of hard to give your opinions on a foundation or a primer when you're using both of them like new for the first time, but it felt really good. Like it felt like it was moisturizing, but it was also a primer, because I feel like there's a lot of primers that like claim to be moisturizing, but then they just feel like you're putting like a lotion on your face and they're not actually priming your skin for makeup. So I thought it felt really, really nice. I have high hopes that I will continue to reach for that. As far as the foundation goes, I do feel like as it's settling into my skin, it is looking more matte. I do like it. Like I feel like my skin looks really nice. It's not normally my preference to go for a matte full coverage foundation, but I feel like it's functional. It's good to have in my collection. And I definitely want to mix this with the Auric Glow Lust just to see what that looks like. The Puff Paint Liquid Blush, I'm not super impressed by, just because I did have to blend it with my fingers for you to be able to see the pigment. And even then, like for there being 2 layers of blush, I still feel like it's a very subtle blush look. So if you're someone who likes your blush to have a little more impact, then I don't know that this formula would be for you. I'm gonna keep testing it out and see, try different techniques, but like first impression, I'm just kind of like meh about it. For the eyeshadow palette, it is basic as basic could be, but I feel like it does what it needs to do, and I really do like the look overall, and I could see this being in my like everyday travel makeup bag for all those times I'm rushing, because like I said a million times, I do my makeup in the car all the time, and you guys might not see me using this on camera, but I feel like it's gonna end up being a staple for me in that aspect of my life. And then the lipstick, I'm kind of obsessed. Like the finish is so pretty. It looks really nice on the lips. It's super comfortable. The color is stunning. The packaging is stunning. This is like an all-around winner. And then lastly, the liner, I feel like did a good job. Like it added that nice little pop of brown into my waterline and my tight line. But this is definitely one of those things where I'm gonna have to wear it and make sure that it doesn't transfer, it doesn't bleed. A lot of times when I wear liner like this, within a few hours, it ends up like sneaking into like my little crow's feet that are beginning right there, and I don't love that. So I'll let you guys know in the future if this does stay in place. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.